Okay. Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be, and welcome to our Harif Zoom. And this is actually the last Zoom of the year, so we thought we'd finish with something really fun. Um, the Our organization, as many of you know, aims to raise awareness of the history and culture and heritage of Jews from the Middle East and North Africa. We have a website, www.harif.org. We also have a sister website which keeps you up to date with the news, and that's called Point of No Return. Best way to get to it is to click on news on the Harif website, and it's updated every day. This session is actually being recorded, and we will have it up on the Harif website in a matter of hours, all being well.
Right. Raquel's just joined, darling. So
Good.
I'll add her to the.
Yeah.
I guess gang of four is probably the appropriate word tonight.
The gang of four. Are we the gang of four? We will be. Okay, so on to tonight's subject, which of course is beyond latkes. Forget latkes, forget donuts. We are going to talk about a Sephardi Hanukkah. How was the festival celebrated? Uh, Hello there. Hi, Raquel. Lovely to have you with
Hello,
us.
everyone.
So, yes, we're going to talk about food. And next week, Hanukkah begins on the 14th of December and lasts for 8 days. And because the festival commemorates how the oil in the temple lasted miraculously for 8 days, it is customary for Jews to eat fried foods. Ashkenazim indulge in latkes and jam donuts, but Sephardim prepare a rich variety of fried foods. So, here to talk about their foods, I'm absolutely delighted to have with me three ladies who are all accomplished cooks as well as being multi-talented in other ways. Raquel Levy Toledano from Morocco, Vivian Bowell from Egypt, and Linda Dangour from Iraq. They will each share a favorite Hanukkah recipe, or maybe even more than one, and they'll talk about how the festival was celebrated in their country of birth. So, without further ado, I'd like to hand over. Perhaps Linda, you can kick off.
Yes, with pleasure. So, good
Okay.
evening, everyone. I'd like to say a few words at first about olive oil, because we're approaching Hanukkah and I think it's quite apt. So, olive oil was always rich in symbolism for the ancient Mediterranean cultures. It was used for healing and, of course, for food and many other purposes. But it wasn't only a practical food commodity. In Judaism especially, it had an immense significance. And because it was used to sanctify sacred places, spaces, to lighting temple menorahs, or anointing kings, it was used as having a connection to the divine. In the case of Hanukkah, when the temple was vandalized and desecrated by the Jew-hating, I had to say that, the Jew-hating Syrian king Antiochus, or is it Antiochus? I don't know how to pronounce his name, in the 2nd century. As you already said, a flask of oil was found containing a single day's worth of olive oil, which had remained untouched and therefore pure, and therefore they could actually use it. And the story goes that the small amount of olive oil lasted more than a day. It lasted for 8 days, and hence the miracle of Hanukkah. So how did we Iraqis celebrate Hanukkah in our home in Baghdad? Well, from my childhood memories and from what my aunts have told me and my mother, it was my paternal grandfather who was the head of the household who lit the candles every night, surrounded by his family. This was the focal point of the festival. And really, that was what I remember. And after that, we sat down and had a meal. Sadly, I have to say, we didn't have a particular dish for Hanukkah like the Ashkenazis or certain Sephardis. And in fact, we're not really Sephardis. That's why I keep saying we're Babylonian Jews. We're kind of slightly different. But we did consume fried food, but these were not necessarily traditional for Hanukkah. What was important in our household was the lighting of the candles. That was and the prayers. So I do know that many Jewish communities around the world have really lovely specific foods. And in fact, it was Maimonides in the 12th century who encouraged people to fry donuts deep fry them in oil to commemorate the miracle of the oil. Well, all I can say is when we came to the UK and after mixing with Ashkenazis and other groups and having been invited to Hanukkah parties for kids, many of us did start to do some fried foods at Hanukkah. But this was very much up to each household to choose the dish. So I will relate a little story and then we'll show you two foods that I've selected. A few years ago, the very popular magazine Delicious magazine wanted to feature an article on the foods of Hanukkah. I was contacted to speak about the dishes that the Iraqi community, the Iraqi Jews, cooked for the festival. So not wanting to disappoint them and not wanting to miss the opportunity to feature some of our Iraqi dishes for the general public, some of our Jewish Iraqi dishes, I gave them two recipes, whilst emphasizing that we didn't really have a specific dish for Hanukkah. And the article came up and I was very happy with it. So the first recipe that I volunteered for them was zingula, or as the Arabs call it, zlabia, or zulbia, as the Persians say it. And can I have, oh, there it is, yeah. So it's really it's a very pretty snack, sweet, I think, and quite easy to make. It's in my book anyway, and it's a favorite with children who love to see it being fried into circles and spirals. I wouldn't recommend a child doing it because once you put the dough in the oil, it kind of splutters, but they really love it. So what do you have to do? You have to make a runny batter with wheat flour, and it has probably yogurt in it and some kind of yeast, so it ferments a bit. And then it's quite runny, so you can dribble it in circular motion into the pot of very, very hot oil. And then you take out the dough that's been fried and soak it immediately into a cold syrup that has been perfumed with orange blossom water or rose water, let's say, yeah? And then leave it to cool. And once it's cooled, zingula has a crispy texture on the outside but a very lovely, spongy, soft sweetness inside. This dessert is really loved by everybody. And I used to sometimes make it for kids for Hanukkah. And in fact, zingula or zlabia is an ancient Persian treat, which goes back to before medieval times. It was first mentioned in a book called Kitab al-Tubh, which means a cookery book, in the 10th century. From Persia, the dessert sort of migrated westwards to Mesopotamia, which was also part of the Persian Empire, but it also went eastwards to India, and they have the same thing but call it jalebi. So that is zingula. The second recipe is one that I make very often and that I like very much. It is a savory vegetarian one called sambusak batawa, literally meaning sambusak fried in the pan. I call them chickpea pillows. There we are. These are the images. Now, this is a mildly, I say, spicy snack. I actually put more spice in it so everybody can do what they like, but it's a mildly spicy snack. Traditionally, the filling is a mixture of chickpeas and chicken. I tend to prefer to leave out the chicken and just make it with only chickpeas. This way it becomes a delicious vegetarian snack. So what do? You first make the dough with self-raising flour and olive oil, which you roll out very thinly on a surface, obviously, and then with a cookie cutter or a glass, you make indentation, you make circles in the dough, and then you put a spoonful of the chickpea mixture on top of each circle, and then you fold the dough over to make like a half circle. These are the sambusaks, and these are then deep fried until they become quite golden, as in the image you have in front of you. I would say they're best eaten warm and on the day, but they can be frozen and then revived in the oven. It's not the same, though. They fried foods, as everybody knows, go soggy after a while. But really, the taste is really fantastic. And of course, we have so many Iraqi dishes that are fried, like beith blaham, which is literally, it means egg and meat. It's a vegetarian meat or meat fritters. Arouq b'samak or arouq bruz. And we even have one that is a donut called darkly. We call it darkly. It's a fried donut steeped in sugar. So, but in general, I try to avoid fried foods. But for Hanukkah, once a year, a little indulgence does no harm. There we are.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Linda. I didn't introduce you properly. You were born in Baghdad and you moved to the
I should have
Lebanon.
introduced myself, maybe.
Yeah, well, don't worry. And from the Lebanon, you arrived in the UK. You're a writer, a potter, an artist, a graphic designer, and the author of 2 books. And I think Flavors of Babylon is the one which is relevant to tonight.
Yeah, this one, new edition.
You've got 2 editions there.
Yeah,
right?
the one you have is the first one, and the one I have here is the one that was re-edited in 2014.
Excellent. Right. So if
You can get
anyone,
Amazon.
if anyone would like to make the dishes that Linda's been talking about, in fact, when Vivian and Raquel also talk about their dishes, everything is on the Harif website, www.harif.org. Just go to events. And after tonight, there's a drop-down menu and just click on past events and click on the relevant event and you will find the complete recipe there. So the ingredients and the method. So thank you very much, Linda. And actually, people have put in all the various names that they give to the same dish. So Zingula is also Zalabia, it's Zalebi, and what was it in Morocco? Chebakia. So that they identify the same thing by a different name, which is fascinating. And I think Jalebi, Selena says that's her name for Zingula.
That's
So
Indian, yes.
that's Indian.
So I
Okay.
did make some of these sambusaks, but as you can see, if it's not eaten on the day, I don't know, it looks
So please do eat your sambusak so we can see you enjoy it.
really
Go on.
okay. Here goes.
Okay, l'chaim. Well, lovely. Okay, so Vivian, over to you. I will introduce you properly this time. Vivian was born in Cairo. Her family was expelled by Nasser in 1956, and they arrived in England on a cold, dark winter's day. And Vivian is the author of To Egypt with Love, which is an autobiography, I think we could call it. Yeah,
Yeah, a memoir.
yeah. And you wrote it during the pandemic, and you've also written a cookery book called A Culinary Legacy, which we have here. So, Vivian, will you please tell us about how Hanukkah was celebrated in Egypt?
Yeah, sorry. So I'll start by talking a little bit about our family traditions, and then I'll go on to talk more about the food, which is obviously the most important thing in Jewish festivals and in celebrations in Egypt. So my father loved Hanukkah, and that was because of the lighting of the candles. But we each got, I mean, my father lit the first one, and the second, my mother got the second, and then we got to light them as well. And I remember that the first evening, my father would always say the whole of the Shechianu blessing, but that was the only time when he actually said the whole blessing. The rest of the time, he would just say Shechianu. So if you were sitting down at the dinner table and we had the first fruit of the season, he'd just lift it and just say Shechianu. And when I was young, I honestly thought that the word had some magical powers or something. Um, we had presents, but my parents didn't go overboard with presents. So it was just a board game or a couple of books. But what was exciting is we always got a new dress. Cairo had a lot of department stores with all the latest fashion from Paris. But all the ladies also had their own seamstress, who were always very highly skilled and could adopt any pattern. So our dresses would have been made by my mother's seamstress. And they were always very girly dresses. I mean, now they might look a little bit over the top with the embroidery and puff sleeves and sometimes satin. We didn't have songs at home because I don't remember my mother ever bursting into song. That just wasn't her. But when we went to my father's family, who spoke fluent Ladino, we would have Hanukkah songs in Ladino. And the one I remember is Ocho Candelitas, Eight Little Candles, if people know it. We also had celebrations. Obviously, our family lived 10 minutes away from each other, so we saw each other all the time and certainly for Hanukkah. But also, it was the only time when we actually were allowed to go. Well, one of the few times when, as children, we were allowed to go out in the evening with my parents, and they had a very tight-knit group of friends. And they would go to what we call the sporting club, which was their club, for the evening. So Hanukkah was very much family and friends. Now the food. So I had two different cultures growing up. My maternal family came from Aleppo in Syria. So that was Syrian culture. And my father's family originally came from Toledo in Spain, and in 1492 ended up in Constantinople. So I had completely different culture, traditions, etc. And of course, living in Egypt, we were very influenced by the Egyptian cooking. So I'll talk about a couple of two savory and two sweet. We had kibbe, which is kubeba in Egyptian. It's the national dish of Lebanon and Syria, and Syrian Jews adopted it as well. And there was a certain mystique attached to kibbe in the Syrian community. It was said that women stake their reputation as wives and hostesses on their ability to make kibbe. And in fact, it was also said that a girl couldn't marry unless she knew how to make kibbe. So I probably would still not be married if I lived in Egypt, because I'm not very good with it. Kibbe is actually a mixture of bulgur wheat and mincemeat, which is shaped into a casing, and the casing is filled with spices, meat, and pine nuts. It's quite a delicate operation because you have to make sure the casing doesn't crumble, and then you have to shape it into an oblong shape, and they're then fried. And we always had that when we went to my grandmother. The other thing we had was sambusek. Now, sambusek in Egypt is completely different from what Linda showed you. Sambusek was Egyptian. It was basically flaky, crispy pastry, which was then fried. This is an example of my sambusek, and they haven't been fried, so they don't look dark. And sweet, so the two things we had were zalabia and atayef. Again, the Egyptian zalabia is completely different from the Iraqi one. And zalabia was essentially Egyptian. They had it during Ramadan, and apparently Egyptians showed their Jewish neighbors how to make it. And it's small fried dough balls, deep fried, which are immediately dipped into sugar syrup. So this is my zalabia, which is just little. They look like mini donuts, but they're not at all. They're crispy, like Linda's. They're crispy on the outside and crunchy on the inside, and full of sugar syrup. And the other thing we had was atayef, which and I could wax lyrical about atayef because atayef was one of my favorite sweets. And we always had it at Hanukkah with the zalabia. Atayef is a stuffed pancake, and it's an ancient Middle Eastern dessert. And the earliest reference to atayef is the book that Linda mentioned, which is Kitab el-Tabir. And also, apparently, another theory is that a chef invented it for a caliph who was looking for a rich sweet to sustain him for a long time. Atayef, as I said, is stuffed pancakes. It's very popular in the Levant and in Egypt. In Egypt, it's also served as a sweet at weddings. And sorry, I forgot what I was going to say now. Sorry. Yeah, so they're stuffed pancakes, which the Egyptians have during the holy months of Ramadan, and Syrian Jews and Egyptian Jews adopted it, and it was very popular during Hanukkah. So it's a pancake, and it's stuffed either with walnuts or with cream. And the walnut version is you fry the pancake. It's a batter. By the way, the zalabia is also a very basic batter of flour, cornstarch, water, and active yeast and water. And the secret is to get the batter just right so it's not too runny and it won't just disintegrate in the hot oil. And the same as a taif. It's also a batter, a bit more complicated. Linda's got the recipe. And the walnut version, it's fried on one side, removed as soon as the batter starts to bubble on the top. Then it's filled with the walnuts, sealed into a half moon shape, fried again, and then dipped into the cold sugar syrup. The cream version is simpler. It's called Ataifa Safari, and it's only fried on one side. Then you add the cream inside, seal it, but you don't fry it again, and you serve it drizzled with sugar syrup and garnished with pistachio. So I just wanted to say very quickly about the cream. If you have a taif here, you will make the cream with a mixture of clotted cream and ricotta or cheese or ricotta mozzarella, whatever. In Egypt, the cream was pure cream. The milk was delivered every day, fresh, and it wasn't pasteurized and it wasn't homogenized. So it had to be boiled. And when it was boiled, the cream would rise on the top. It would be removed with a slotted spoon and placed in a dish. And when it cooled down, it gave the most wonderful cream called eshta, which I have never tasted since then. I think that's about it.
Oh, thanks very much. My mouth is watering. And of course, you can find the recipe on the Harif website. Just go to events or after tonight, past events. We now move on to just a final plug for Vivian's book here, A Culinary Legacy. Do you have a taif actually in your book?
I
No,
have salabia and sambusek. I didn't.
Okay.
It was difficult to make kibbeh during. I think I do have a recipe for kibbeh, but it's kibbeh bilsaniya, which is an easier version if people want to make it.
Yeah. Oh, we like easy. We like easy versions.
That's much easier.
Okay, great. So moving on to Raquel Levy Toledano, who is joining us from Paris. She was born in Casablanca, Morocco, and moved to France, becoming a doctor of medicine and completing a PhD in molecular endocrinology. And today she's very involved in the genealogy and the history of Moroccan Jews. And she's the founder of the Généalogie des Juifs Marocains Facebook group, which has 13,100 members. I'm very jealous of you, Raquel. She has published lots of articles about genealogy and has presented her research at numerous conferences and Zoom meetings. But no cookery books yet, Raquel. Well, you're muted. You're muted. Sorry. Raquel, just one sec.
Well, I'll have to come and do it then. That's exactly why I left everyone in the top unmuted, darling.
Yeah. There.
Okay.
Now we can hear you.
Good evening, everyone. And actually, I don't have my own cookbook, but I have my aunt cookbook with a lot of recipes from my mother. Okay, my aunt was Nina Mar Youssef, and she wrote this cookbook with her daughter-in-law. So it's Nina and Viviane Mar Youssef. It's in French, sorry.
Right, that's okay. But food is universal, so no problem.
Yeah, cooking is an important tradition in our family.
Yes.
As probably in every Sephardic and Moroccan Jewish families. So, with regard to dishes for Hanukkah, actually, there is only one that is specific to Hanukkah, although we have a lot of fries fried dishes in Moroccan cuisine, whether it's salty or sweet. But what we make on Hanukkah are the sphinge. So the sphinge are donuts. So those are mine that I cooked, and they are not so nice looking. My mother would have told me not to show those because they are not. She would consider that they are not nice enough to be shown. But those are sphinge. These are donuts that is baked as and is made almost as bread, only with flour, salt, water, and yeast, of course. And then it has to rise for 2 or 3 hours. And I will always remember that my mother would put a fabric on top of the bowl. As I said, as I wrote today, you can put a film, a plastic film, but it won't be sphinge of Hanukkah for me if there was not this on top of the bowl. And then it's fried, deep fried in either I don't remember that we did that we fried it with olive oil, just with peanut oil or so regularly deep fried. Now, what I'd like to tell you about also is how we celebrated Hanukkah in Morocco. My father used to have, and actually we used to have a Hanukkah that we will hang on the wall. And actually, I will show you 2 Hanukkiyot that are that look like those we had in Morocco, but I bought them at an antique shop in Jerusalem. But it looks like the Moroccan one. So this is one of the Hanukkah, and we used to put oil in the holes here with a thread of cotton, and we will light the cotton, and then it will we will have the Hanukkah lit in that way. And there is another one that I'm sure that it is from a Sephardi country, but I don't remember having seen those in Morocco. And as you can see here, in each hole you have 2 threads that you can use. So I don't know how it can be used with only one light. Okay. So Hanukkah was a family celebration. We didn't celebrate that in a community, or we would have our Hanukkah that will hang next to the door. I will remember always. I don't know if it is a Moroccan tradition. I think it is, that the Hanukkah is very close to the entrance door of the house. And on the day of Hanukkah, my father would give us a bill. And that bill was very special because he would go to the bank to get a new bill to give to each child, his own very new bill that has never been used before. What can I tell you more? When we came to France, then it became a very big celebration, always a family celebration, but we will have a big reunion with all the family. And because it was one of these days that we could drive if you were Shomer Shabbat, for instance. So that was one of these festival where you could reunite the whole family because it was easier. And then each one will get a present, each child. But I think it's really I would say, for the children that were growing up in France to get the same joy as other non-Jewish kids would get on Christmas, I would think. But that's how it was we were celebrating in Morocco and then later on in France. About the recipe that I sent about the sponge, it's really very easy to make, and as you could see my own sponge. You don't get a regular round donut as you could buy in the street. They were all different shape and even different size. But it was a festival.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Raquel. Right, so we've all had a sample of what it was like to celebrate Hanukkah in all the different countries, and people have been putting comments saying they had different names for things, and they had different customs. So I'd like to hear from all of you. Please do, comment and say what you did for Hanukkah. I think it's fascinating. It's amazing how similar people's customs were in a way, and also how different they were.
Actually, Linda showed, I don't remember how you call that, showed a sweet that we eat in Morocco, that we make also in Morocco.
Yeah.
The round cake with that was soft in the middle.
Yeah, the zingula,
The
zlavia.
zingula. So
Yeah.
we have that in Morocco. It's called shabakia, and we didn't eat that. We didn't eat that for Hanukkah. We just had it as a sweet all year long, and a lot of all these recipes that we can fry that are part of the Moroccan cuisine. The only specific one is the sponge. All the other one, we can eat them all year long.
Right. So I was just looking at Claudia Roden's book, the Book of Jewish Food, and she said the Moroccans eat couscous just for a change, but they have it with chicken, but they deep fry the chicken. Is that right? Did they do that in your house? In your family? No, no,
No,
no.
I think Linda wants to add
Yeah,
something.
Linda. You're muted. Right, you're muted.
Let's go to mute. You can unmute yourself, Linda. Just unmute yourself.
Just
If you press the microphone button on your
no,
dashboard.
the microphone button.
On your dashboard.
Yeah. Oh dear.
On the left-hand side of the dashboard, there's a microphone.
No?
You pressed it before.
No,
Yeah.
I wanted to say something
Yes,
because
go on.
Raquel touched on it. And it's when we came to England, to London, exactly in the same way as what Raquel said, that somehow Hanukkah became also something else, not in competition, but in sort of echoing Christmas, because all kids had Christmas and we had like nothing. We had just lighting the candles. So it became something a bit more celebratory and had to do with presents and it became something else. But in Iraq, it was a very humble celebration, a family one.
Same in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what about you, Vivian? I mean, did Hanukkah feel quite different once you got to England?
I don't know, because we were completely split from the family. All the family moved all over the world, so it was just my parents and me, and us. I don't know whether We did. I don't think we got as many presents in. I think we were struggling to begin with anyway, so we didn't actually get. But we got present in Egypt. We didn't. It was very low key. I do remember feeling very left out because of Christmas. And my father seemed to put a lot of emphasis on lighting the candles. But apart from that, we didn't make a bigger fuss of it. No.
Right. Interesting. Ariel says that they had Svenj during the period of Selichot. That's interesting. Yeah. Of course, there wasn't one particular time for any of these foods. And somebody said they had some busik batawa for Purim, for instance. So
Yes.
obviously, you can't have too much of a good thing.
But it's unusual that Maimonides really encouraged people to have specific fried foods in the 12th century. So it must be a custom, a tradition for the Sephardis or the people that lived in Spain anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Sarah wants to.
Yes,
Sarah?
Sarah?
Sarah.
Sarah. Sorry, we're always doing this. I'm so sorry, Sarah.
Okay. It's okay. Well, thank you all. It's lovely to hear about all the foods. I would say we also in India, with the Baghdad tradition, the Babylonian tradition, didn't seem to have a specific food, but we did have an interesting custom, and it was to do with something we called it halawa, like halwa, but halawa. And it was a dish made of flour and oil and sugar and ground cardamom and maybe almonds. And it was served by people who had lost someone in their family in that year. So it was in the year of someone's passing. And they would make this by it would be like a thick custard, I suppose. And they would put it on a piece of flat bread, like an Iraqi pita, and in a dish. And then they would put the name of the person on a piece of paper. They would write the name of the person who has passed away. And then they would distribute these dishes or plates to either people who were sitting in the room with them or outside the house. So that was done regularly for someone who had passed away. And again, we've got the oil, which maybe is the reason, but I don't know if anyone else has that custom.
And what was the significance, would you say? Yeah, I mean...
Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I was just going to say, why something sweet for someone who's passed away?
Well, maybe to remember, maybe to remember them in a sweet way. Why not?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. Linda, you wanted to?
No, I wanted to know, was that specific for Hanukkah, that they did that at Hanukkah, or? I'm asking Sarah.
All right, I have to bring Sarah back. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's too quick.
Sorry, Lawrence was too quick.
It was specifically for Hanukkah, yes.
Amazing, yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
So
of course,
someone's got to write a book about Hanukkah customs. I don't know which of you is going to volunteer. Yeah, wonderful. So there are other comments here. Alan says Egyptian zalabia is called lukumadis by the Greeks and also sold in Greece.
Yeah, Lynn, I had that in my notes. I forgot to mention it. They're very similar to lukumadis. So, and we had lukumadis throughout the year, but we had zalabia for Hanukkah and us. But they are very similar, yeah.
So each community had their own name for the same thing, obviously.
Yeah. I just want to add something, that the bill that my father used to give us, it was called the krada. So I don't know. I don't know the meaning of it. Krada. And I remember just that we were impatient to get the krada on Hanukkah.
What was it?
A bill of money.
Oh,
Yeah.
A brand new
Yeah.
bill, because he would go to the bank to get new bills for Hanukkah to give them to us.
Yeah. So a similar sort of custom to giving money. I mean, the Ashkenazim give gold coins or Hanukkah geld. Hanukkah geld. Yeah, that's right. They obviously don't. They don't spend as much as the Sephardis did. Presumably, the banknotes were worth more. Yeah. So Shimon says, in our family, the children get chocolate coins. Is that the equivalent to giving money? I'm sure that's right. Yeah, that's right.
How did you celebrate Hanukkah, Lynn?
Well, we didn't really. I would say as children, we didn't actually celebrate anything much. They were not very religious, my family. But I think we definitely do with the grandchildren, and we light the menorah, which we never used to do.
I did in my family.
I know Lawrence used to, but we were very naughty. We were not very observant.
This is how you can celebrate it. They're nuts and latkes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. This is we've acquired all the sort of Ashkenazi habits now, unfortunately.
It's pretty bad. Slide really.
Alba says we in Canada got brand new bills, not very elaborate gifts, just one thing like a puzzle or a book.
Oh, so then they do too.
Yes, that's very interesting. Yeah. Great. And did you spend the money immediately? Or did you save it?
I don't remember, but we got the same kind of money on Purim. And on Purim, we will play with the money.
Yeah.
But on Hanukkah, I think we just kept it to buy something we like.
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot to tell you, of course, the Svench were eaten with a glass of green mint tea, of course.
Naturally.
Of course. and we could, and it was, you could use either sugar or honey, or even honey mixed either with butter or with olive oil, depending whether it will be a halavi or a parve dish.
Yeah. Interesting. So it's just like jam donuts, but the sweet on the outside and not on the inside. Sort of. Yeah. Lovely.
So someone is asking about the dreidels. Actually, we did have one, but we played the same as the one that Ashkenazi have, but we used to play with it in Purim, not in Hanukkah.
Yeah. I think a lot of Purim habits have transferred to Hanukkah, maybe because of Christmas, because Christmas has become such a big thing and the Jews didn't want to be left out. So they certainly the present giving has migrated to Hanukkah. Right. So just see if there are any more comments. Yeah, the Hanukkah, of course, is a big thing. Lighting the Hanukkah, which was, as you said, oil, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was oil. It wasn't candles.
No, it was not candle.
Yeah, and that actually has, in a way, has been supplanted by candles, hasn't it? You don't really get Hanukkah with oil
But
anymore.
for Shabbat, I use oil
Yeah,
and floating wicks, and it's really
floating
lovely.
wicks, like
I
in
don't
the
use
old,
a candle.
yeah,
We used to use them also in Morocco. I cannot find this floating thing that you can.
In London, we have Kosher Kingdom, and you can buy them there.
Okay, I will. So next time I'll go to London, I will buy some.
What about you, Vivian? Did you have oil, a Hanukkah with oil or with
I don't remember, but yeah, it would have been oil, not
oil?
candles. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Candles in London, yeah, but it would have
Yeah.
been oil.
Right.
remember
And
it was-
Ariel, yes, okay.
The first-
Ariel, would you like to describe your Hanukkah?
Yeah. So the first thing that I have to say, I was in a little boy in a French school, and as you say, also there's an French influence. So they have le sapin de Noël, Christmas and the tree and all this.
Christmas tree.
So, and my friend from school, we are about 7, 8, 9, something like this, have Christmas, so she present. So a little bit to fight about this influence. The first thing that instead of only my father will put on the Hanukkah, each of the children will put on his Hanukkah. That's the first thing. The second thing, if my friend at school receive one present from Christmas, I receive 8 presents for Hanukkah. So each time I go to school, they ask me, what you received today? What you received today? That's the first. So that's the first thing. The second thing, one thing we have to say that the Sphinx or the other one are round, a goal. And because at the time of Adam and Chava, they were afraid that the sun go down earlier and earlier. So they were afraid that perhaps it is the end of the world. But after they see that after the winter, it began again. So this symbol, down and up. So we have it in Hanukkah. That's one of the things. And Letsarenu, also when we go to Azkara, somebody.
Shiva.
They give also something round. No door generation go. So the meaning is how you call it, l'espérance.
Hope.
And hope, that this is one thing. So about this is not a darbuka. This is my great mother about 100 years ago. So and when you have very hot oil inside, so you have something like this, un crochet, like
A
this.
hook.
So you can take your sponge and that's the thing to up. I know I have the authentic one, so I just make it now. So you can see it up. We take the sponge and also. One thing also I want that you see, it is Hanukkah of my great mother,
Wow.
the town of Tétouan in the north of Morocco.
Fantastic, yeah.
So you have 8 here, 1 up, and this is it was a miracle that it arrived from Morocco to Israel.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But you have also to take one point that we are in Galut, and we want to come back one day to Israel. So also in Tisha B'Av, after Mincha, when the father was coming home, he will give also money to the children or a present for the children. Because you see the father sitting on the floor, but l'espérance, the hope. So after Mincha, the children will receive a present. In Hanukkah, they will receive a present. Yes, it is a destruction, the fight against the Greek and all the things. But the hope is, so the children will receive a present also in Purim, in Hanukkah, in Tisha B'Av. So that is the way of having the head out of the water, if I can say.
Yes.
To keep the head about the water. That's and it was a beautiful Chag. It was a holiday, a very nice holiday, and the parents for their children have to find new things, so it will be a continuation. We have a problem, we have a war, we lost the war, and all the things, but there is hope. That
that's lovely. Yeah. That's what a lovely contribution to the discussion. So
I
as you
have
say,
also
the children,
to say
yeah,
to
yeah,
Lynn. So when people ask me what is my internet address, I say also carciente instead of saying at in French or strudel in. Oh, I say shbakia or fajuela, you know. Fajuela.com.
Yeah, we can't have strudel. No, no. Very good.
Latkes and donuts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lovely. Oh, thank you very much for that, Ariel. Yeah. And I like the idea that Adam and Eve were worried that the sun would not come up again, and therefore, the round shape symbolizes the sun. I think that's charming. That's lovely. Great. So
the round things can symbolize continuity.
Continuity, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And in a house of mourning, you have the round kaak, haven't you, which symbolizes continuity of life goes on.
Life, yes.
Yeah.
So before to say good night, I will say bon appétit.
Just what I was going to say. Lovely.
Okay, if anyone else wants to speak, please raise your electronic hand and I will add you to the spotlights.
Anyone else?
Electronic hand, not physical hand, because there are 42 of them and I can't watch everyone at once.
I think everyone's rushed off to the kitchen, actually.
Yeah.
So if nobody else wants to speak, it just remains for me to thank you all, ladies, for absolutely wonderful description of your Hanukkah, and thank you for describing the dishes. A reminder once again that you can find the recipes on the Harif website, www.harif.org. It'll be under past events after tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Advert time,
Thank you. So we have the commercial break, and then everyone will be able to say whatever they like off the record. Just to say, this is the last session before the end of the year, but we have an absolutely packed program for 2026. So I hope you will all join us on Zoom, and there are also going to be some in-person events. I wish everybody happy Hanukkah, Hag Sameach. Don't overdo the svenge or the zalabia. Zingula. Yeah. Take it easy on the zingula.
Yeah.
Right. And enjoy your latkes and donuts.
Right.
I'll just check the participants.
Yeah.
Move.
Okay. So happy Hanukkah. This is your chance to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah.
Everyone can now unmute themselves. I have removed the iPads and the iPhones.
Okay, yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Yeah.
It was lovely actually to meet Vivian and Raquel. Really nice.
Yeah,
Same to me. Very
yeah,
nice meeting
Linda,
you.
you had the privilege of, if I remember correctly, of cooking with Rabbi Dweck. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It must have been, honestly, it must have been great.
It was such a fun evening.
Oh,
And it was just superb. We're going to really miss him.
I know. I know, it just won't be the same, I'm afraid. I don't think it'll be the
And
same.
his wife was just such a
We
genius.
did Mahallabiya, and I can't remember what else we did. We did quite 3 dishes. And then it was like taster dishes, and everybody had some. We had about 60 people. It was real fun.
He's from Syria. He's Syrian origin anyway.
Oh,
That's
yeah, the heritage. Yeah.
So he understands a lot about the
Yeah.
Syrian community.
Absolutely, yeah. And
thank you to all the speakers.
Thank you, Kitty. Thank you for joining us.
I was struggling to unmute myself and ask questions. Now I've forgotten all about them.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Can I just say how interesting it was to see like my equivalent of Zalabia, which is your school. It must be the same batter.
It is the same batter because I looked, even in Lebanon, they have also round ones, but it's the same batter. But we have this, we have that, and so do the Persians, and so do the Indians, and actually Lebanese have both, have round ones and circular ones.
This is what connects us, isn't it? The fact that they might have different names, but basically it's the same ingredients, the same idea, the same tradition.
Yeah.
When you speak to English people, it's like,
it's a different world. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Zingula.
That picture was taken by me. It was I wanted to photograph a zingula in a lovely way, because it's very difficult sometimes, as most of you might know, to photograph a food and to make it look tasty or interesting. And I think that was successful, because it's very.
I'll let you into a secret. I changed the lighting and the colours a little better.
But they're absolutely translucent, absolutely wonderful. The way
I put the lights behind them, so that you can see that.
Yes, lovely. So
happy Hanukkah, everyone.
Yes, happy Hanukkah, everyone, and good cooking.
Happy Hanukkah.
Lovely, and
so
enjoy the festival.
Raquel, Lynn expects samples of everything.
Yes, of course. I'm not a great cook, I have to say, so any deliveries would be gratefully received.
I think
we should do another session with other recipes, not only Hanukkah recipes. Because I hear this.
Great idea.
The other speakers, they look like they know very well their subject.
Why not the chamin or srina?
La dafina.
We could do one on Shabbat cooking.
We can do one on Shabbat. Yes. I have a great recipe of dafina that I make.
Yes. And we've got Tabit, the Iraqi equivalent, and I don't know what the Syrians do, Vivian.
Hamim.
For Shabbat, Hamim, is it?
I think so.
Grape leaves. Sorry.
Stuffed grape leaves.
No, we never had Hamim. I don't know.
You never had Hamim, no. Alain, what did you have?
No, the Hamim didn't exist in Egypt, but when you burn the rice, it became Hamim, because what the bottom was the burned rice, and this is part of what the Hamim is all about.
Actually, our dish, the Moroccan one, which is called dafina or srina, or srina
Yeah.
means chamim,
Yeah.
because it comes from hot, from heat.
Hot. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Like
Did you put
schuna,
eggs in your
texture.
hamim?
Yeah, me, I do. Yes, in my dafina, I would call it. Yeah.
Yeah,
When I lived in Singapore, the Iraqi community was offering usually the Friday or the Saturday lunch, and the cook was from India, and he did the hamim the Indian way with, of course, the chicken, but he also made sure that everybody got a piece of the bottom one, which in Arabic was called ahata.
Hakaka, that's right. That's the crispy golden rice.
The rice,
sticks
yeah,
to
the
the
bottom.
bottom of the pot.
But you can do that easily if you cook your rice, if you fried your rice first before adding the water.
Yes, yes. Great tip, that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my wife does
let's
that.
do a Shabbat Zoom. That would be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But in Egypt, we used to have feu de vigne automatically,
yeah.
and chicken soup with rice. The chicken soup was with rice, by the way, and you added the rice in your bowl. It wasn't in the kitchen. It was added to your bowl.
Yeah.
What's it called? Alain?
Chicken soup.
Oh,
Soup de
just
poulet.
sorry.
But
It's just
instead
that
of having kreplach, as the Ashkenazim do, you'd have rice floating around in your chicken soup.
Raquel, perhaps we can speak about harira also.
Harira.
Yes.
That's a soup that is very popular in Morocco, and because Muslims, they eat it at Ramadan, after the Ramadan, after the day of comment on dit jeûner?
When they fast.
After they fast.
End of the fast.
When they break the fast.
And we make it as well, but it is not specifically Jewish. It's a Muslim dish. It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, one very good dish that we used to have in Lebanon that I love, and I do make it in London, is melochia.
So what is it? Because in Morocco we have melochia, and in Tunisia they do have a melochia, but it's not the same dish.
No.
The Lebanese molokhia is not like the Egyptian or Syrian molokhia. Completely different.
A Syrian friend of mine made it, and it was completely different. It was just like beside the rice. It wasn't a soup. Obviously, the Egyptian one is soup.
Then you could have, and the thing that I remember most, it's a soup, but it's got, of course, you have rice. You can have rice with it, and you can have chicken with it. But to make it, at the last minute, you put chopped onions and vinegar. And that's what we had in Lebanon.
No, chopped garlic, old chopped garlic.
Oh, yes, but that's when you cook it. But
that's when you cook it.
Serve it.
Oh, sorry.
Serve it with vinegar. And I remember asking I think it was my mother. I said, "Do you remember melochia?" She said, "No." I said, "You know the dish where you put vinegar and chopped onions at the end?" And she goes, "Oh yes, I do remember, because that really brings out the flavor."
Lovely.
By the way, you can buy the ingredient frozen.
You can buy it frozen, and you can buy it fresh, but it's rare. It's a very small window where you can really get it fresh. But frozen. But
frozen, then you get only the leaves.
What?
Can I ask a question about the frozen melochia? Because I've wondered,
we feel too good here, so we are not leaving.
Fenugreek in English. It's called fenugreek in English.
Do you defrost the melochia before, or do you throw it in?
You throw it in, but I don't buy the chopped one because I don't like it. I buy the full leaf.
Oh no!
No, you have to chop it. You have to chop it.
Well, it depends how you have.
I tried the full leaf, and it was just
full leaf doesn't taste the same.
No.
But you buy it fully chopped from, it's imported from Egypt. I mean,
Yes,
here in the US.
I have bought the fully chopped one and I bought the leaf. I prefer the leaf because it's a bit gelatinous, you know. So,
Oh, do you defrost it beforehand or do you?
I put it in.
I don't cook it because my wife doesn't like it. So I only eat it at my sister's or some other.
My husband doesn't like it. Doesn't mean anything. I have it for myself.
Because when I made it for some friends and they're American and another guest was English and I thought, I'm going to make melochia and see what happens. And they loved it. I was so astonished. They loved it.
Do you know melochia, Lynn?
So I have had it once, but we don't make it. No, it's. I've always thought of it as a typical Egyptian dish, but as Raquel said, it's obviously not confined to Egypt, and everyone has their own variation, which is fascinating.
Yeah.
So listen. You've given me
food for
thought. Exactly. Let's do this again. Maybe on a different.
I mean, for those of you who live in London, you should try to find an Egyptian restaurant on Edgware Road, and you ask them you want the Egyptian variety. I'm sure they will make it for you.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good tip. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.
And I must say, it has certainly stimulated our appetites. So thank you once again.
I'm going to have my dinner now anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you're having your dinner now. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks very much, everyone. Good night. See you next year. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.